Back in 2009, Domino's was being destroyed by its own customers. People called the pizza cardboard. Others said the sauce tasted like ketchup. And one review became so brutal that it spread across the internet like wildfire. Most companies would hide from criticism like that. But Domino's did something almost no billion-dollar company would ever dare to do. They admitted they were failing in front of the entire world. And what happened next completely changed the company forever. This is the story of Domino's Pizza, one of the biggest fast food comebacks in history. A company that went from a tiny pizza shop in Michigan to global domination, then nearly collapsed under its own success, before reinventing itself in a way nobody expected. And honestly, the craziest part is that Domino's almost disappeared multiple times. It all started in 1960, in a small town called Ypsilanti, Michigan, where two brothers named Tom Monahan and James Monahan bought a struggling pizza store called Domino's for just $900. Now imagine this for a second. No massive investors, no celebrity endorsements, no billion-dollar marketing team. Just two brothers trying to survive by selling pizza to college students. At first, business was rough. The brothers worked insane hours. They cleaned the floors themselves, made the dough themselves, and delivered pizzas themselves. But eventually, James decided he didn't want to stay in the business anymore, so he traded his half of the company to Tom for a used Volkswagen Beetle. That decision would become one of the most famous business trades in fast food history. Tom Monahan was obsessed with growth. He wasn't trying to build a fancy Italian restaurant. He wanted speed, efficiency, and scale. He focused on one thing that would later define Domino's forever: delivery. Back then, pizza delivery wasn't really the giant industry we know today, but Tom realized something important. College students and busy families loved convenience. They didn't care about fancy dining rooms. They wanted hot pizza fast. And that simple idea changed everything. By the late 1960s, Tom renamed the business Domino's Pizza, inspired by the original store name, and the company started expanding rapidly through franchising. This is where things got interesting. Most restaurants at the time had huge menus with all kinds of food. But Domino's kept things simple. Pizza, soda, a few sides. That was it. And because the menu was simple, stores could operate faster than competitors. Then came the move that made Domino's legendary, the 30-minute delivery guarantee. If the pizza didn't arrive in 30 minutes or less, customers got it free. At the time, it sounded genius. And for a while, it absolutely was. Drivers rushed through neighborhoods, stores focused entirely on speed, and customers loved the excitement of getting hot pizza at their door almost instantly. By the 1980s, Domino's exploded across America. The company was opening stores everywhere, sales were climbing fast, and Domino's became one of the most recognizable pizza brands in the country. What happened next was shocking. The company went international. Domino's entered markets around the world and became a symbol of fast American food culture. The blue and red Domino logo became instantly recognizable, and for a while, it looked unstoppable. But things didn't stay that way. Behind the scenes, cracks were starting to appear. The obsession with speed came at a cost. Drivers were reportedly rushing dangerously to meet the 30-minute promise. Accidents started happening. Lawsuits started piling up. And suddenly, the marketing strategy that helped build the company became a massive liability. One lawsuit in particular changed everything. In the early 1990s, Domino's faced a major legal case after a delivery driver caused a serious accident, and the company ended up paying millions. That was the beginning of the end for the famous 30-minute guarantee. Domino's eventually dropped the promise entirely, and honestly, that was a huge moment, because the company lost part of the identity that made it special. But the problems were only getting worse as competitors improved their food quality. Domino's developed a terrible reputation for taste. People mocked the pizza constantly. Late-night comedians joked about it. Customers said the crust tasted like cardboard. The sauce was criticized everywhere. And the internet made things even worse. By the 2000s, online reviews and social media were exploding, and Domino's became an easy target. Then came one of the biggest PR disasters in the company's history. In 2009, two Domino's employees uploaded disgusting prank videos involving food preparation to YouTube. The videos spread insanely fast. Millions of people watched them. Customers were horrified. And suddenly, Domino's faced a nightmare scenario, a collapsing reputation during the rise of viral internet culture. This is where everything changed. Most companies would have gone into damage control mode and pretended everything was fine. But Domino's made a decision that shocked the business world. They admitted their pizza was bad. Seriously, the company launched a brutally honest advertising campaign where they literally showed real customer complaints on screen. People called the pizza terrible. Customers insulted the crust. Focus groups roasted the sauce. And Domino's responded by saying, "Yeah, we hear you." That level of honesty was rare, especially for a giant corporation. Then Domino's completely reinvented the recipe. They changed the crust, updated the sauce, improved the cheese, and redesigned the pizza from top to bottom. It was risky, because if customers still hated the new pizza, the company would look even worse. But the gamble worked. Sales started climbing again. Customers became curious. People ordered Domino's just to see if the pizza was actually different. And surprisingly, many of them liked it. The comeback had officially begun. But Domino's wasn't done reinventing itself. The company realized something else before many competitors did. Technology was the future. And this part of the story is honestly kind of genius. While other pizza chains focused mostly on traditional advertising, Domino's became obsessed with digital convenience. They invested heavily in online ordering, mobile apps, pizza trackers, smartwatch ordering, voice assistant ordering, even ordering through emojis. At one point, you could literally tweet a pizza emoji to Domino's and get food delivered. It sounded ridiculous, but it worked. Domino's transformed itself into a tech company that happened to sell pizza. That mindset gave the company a massive advantage. Customers loved how easy ordering became. The app experience was smoother than many competitors. And during the smartphone boom, Domino's was perfectly positioned. Then came another major turning point, the pandemic. When lockdowns hit around the world, many restaurants struggled badly because dine-in traffic disappeared overnight. But Domino's was built for delivery. This was the exact environment the company had been preparing for decades. Suddenly, millions of people were stuck at home ordering food online, and Domino's thrived. Sales surged again. Delivery demand exploded. The company expanded even further globally. For a moment, it looked like Domino's had completely mastered modern fast food. But things didn't stay perfect forever, because now Domino's faces a completely different challenge. Competition has become brutal. Apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash changed the food delivery industry entirely. Customers suddenly had endless options. Burgers, sushi, wings, tacos, everything delivered straight to their homes. Domino's was no longer competing only with pizza chains. Now it was competing with basically every restaurant in town. And there's another issue: inflation, rising ingredient costs, higher labor expenses, changing consumer habits. The fast food industry today is far more unpredictable than it used to be. Even Domino's has faced slower growth in some markets recently. Some customers also complain that prices have increased too much. Others feel the quality still doesn't match smaller local pizza shops. And honestly, that debate probably never goes away. Because Domino's was never really trying to be artisan pizza. It was trying to be fast, convenient, affordable comfort food. And in many ways, that strategy still works incredibly well. Today, Domino's operates thousands of stores across the world and remains one of the largest pizza chains on the planet. The company continues experimenting with technology, delivery systems, AI-powered ordering, and new menu ideas. But what makes Domino's fascinating is not just the success, it's the survival. Think about how many times this company could have collapsed. The dangerous delivery lawsuits could have destroyed the brand. The terrible food reputation could have killed customer trust. The viral employee scandal could have buried the company online. And yet somehow Domino's kept adapting. That's probably the biggest lesson here. Sometimes companies fail because they refuse to change. Domino's survived because eventually it did change, even if it had to publicly embarrass itself first. And honestly, not many giant corporations are willing to do that. There's something strangely impressive about a billion-dollar company looking directly at customers and saying, "We messed up," because that honesty became the foundation of one of the biggest corporate comebacks in fast food history. But now the question is completely different. Can Domino's stay on top in a world where food delivery has become more competitive than ever? Can it keep evolving fast enough? Or will another company eventually do to Domino's what Domino's once did to everyone else? And maybe the bigger question is this: would Domino's even be this successful today if people had never hated the pizza in the first place? Because sometimes failure becomes the thing that forces reinvention, and without that crisis, Domino's might never have transformed at all. So what do you think about Domino's? Do you think it's one of the greatest business comebacks ever? Or do you still think the pizza is overrated? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.